Alright, so in the last video that I made like a few seconds ago, I was giving you guys some facts that you can look into if you wanted to, and there's a lot more facts out there, and I am not the fact compiler, but there are people who are, and some of those places you might want to start are like the Global Standardization of Biodigital Convergence. What's that? Who's involved with that? Nanotechnology, nanoparticulates under the skin for over 20 years. Every president from Clinton forward has had allocated billions of dollars to nano technology. So that's Clinton forward. It's a lot of years. So, whatever. You guys can do your own research, This video is going to be about conspiracy theories. So, in the last video, I called out Sabrina Wallace for essentially snubbing the targeted community, and I'm sure she has her reasons. I don't really care at all, because I only care about people who are speaking in blunt fact and truth. And I think that she clearly does a lot of that, but the oversight within the targeted community is noteworthy of mention. Sabrina, my phone number is 203-500-6666 if you want to have a conversation and a one-off about that. So my conspiracy theory is that the targeted community is and was part of the experimentation process for the nanotech. And so keep in mind, nobody has to listen to what I'm saying, and this is all, conspiracy theory. But if we look at the money, how much money's been invested into this, how much money's been lied about this. The Pentagon failed 7 consecutive audits amassing trillions. Can you imagine if you owed someone $500? How quickly they might ask you for it? How about if a government agency punted several trillion of your dollars and they didn't tell you where it went? Not only didn't tell you where it went, alleged that they couldn't tell you where it went. So my thought is that they needed a sample size to fine-tune the technology. It seems very much to me that they are augmenting humans with technology, human augmentation, biodigital convergence, and the goal is to control the human mind. And if you control the mind, you can control a person's entire life from birth until the end. And I believe that is ultimately the goal with the technology, is to completely... The brain's been mapped forever. When we talk about behavior modification, when we talk about social engineering, when we talk about genetic modification, all these things that are rooted in science, right? I think that the targeted community is being used to fine-tune the technology so that, as they're applying it to the rest of the world, they're not really missing, right? And it's a conspiracy theory because I can't prove any of that, but if anyone's tried to have a conversation based in fact and reality with anyone else in the last 5 years, it seems very apparent that there's been a massive cognitive decline. There's cognitive dissonance. There's lack of logical thought and critical thinking. Inability to have a conversation based in fact. So, we can keep theorizing about the fluoride and the nanoparticulates and those nano robot machines inside the blood-brain barrier that are fusing with our own biology, neural nudging, and I don't know, predictive patterns, behavior patterns, and how they can essentially influence that. I don't know how much of the details you guys want to go into the problem. I think how much of the details you guys want to go into the problem, but I think most people don't really want to have the conversation. Most people and rightfully so, right? I mean, who wants to talk about this shit? But the people who are aware realize that they have a moral responsibility to warn everybody else. So anyway, there's your conspiracy theory. My conspiracy theory is that the targeted community is a sample populace so that they can fine-tune the nanotech, whatever else, smart dust, self-assembling technology, genetic modification, everything else that they're rolling out with regard to biodigital conversions. Just a conspiracy theorist. Are we having fun yet?